If you want to be a better learner, if you want to be a better leader, if you want to attain more wisdom and become the person you're meant to be, there's a secret that is hidden inside of the Bible that most people overlook because it's hard for them to truly embody and internalize because it makes them look at themselves. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. See, that principle, it is hidden in Proverbs 12:1, which I'm going to read to you right now. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof or correction is stupid. It literally says, you're stupid if you do not like discipline. You see, God does not lie. If discipline equals loving knowledge, that means the more disciplined you allow yourself to be, the more you seek being wrong, the more wisdom, knowledge that you can acquire, that you can bring in, because you're not so focused on trying to be right all the time. You're actually allowing yourself to be wrong and seeking where you may be wrong. You see, this is going to be a short and to the point video. All right, I'm a big fan of just keeping it raw, letting it flow. I personally don't like to script it out and do the whole structural thing. It's just not how I do it. Occasionally I'll do it, sure, but I'm having a lot more fun flowing, just going off the dome. And so in this video, I want to share with you what the biggest issue is that's leading people to, one, having too big of an ego, having too much pride, and not being open to humility, which allows them to actually get what they want in the first place. Right? I've met a lot of people in my life who, for whatever reason, I never really understood why it was like they didn't want to be wrong. They just didn't want to be wrong. It was so weird. And it was like me, I've always been curious. And if you resonate with any of my stuff, you're probably curious too. I love to explore ideas. I love to see new perspectives. I like to challenge my own beliefs and expose the lies in myself so that I can actually know the truth. I want to know the truth. And if you don't have that desire, it's almost impossible for you to seek being wrong in the first place. You can't be disciplined because you take it as a threat to your ego, to your identity, because you're associating more with that than the underlying curiosity that is attached to your soul. You see, we end up in hard positions in life. We end up depressed. We end up anxious. We end up frustrated when we attach ourselves too much to the mind and not enough to the craving of the soul. Our soul is a guidance system that is telling you exactly where you need to go. It's leading your intuition. Your mind, it contains all your ideas, all your beliefs, all of the perceptions that you have about the world. And if you're stuck up here all the time, how are you going to let that go and become the person that you're meant to be? And so if you're not open to correction, you literally are an idiot, because it's like you're stuck. You're completely stuck. You can't do anything. You can do things, you're just in your own little bubble, and it's not reality. It's like you want to stay in this tiny little village in your mind without realizing there's a whole world outside of you. It's like believing that the United States is the only place on the planet, but then all of a sudden you see a map and you're like, oh yeah, Japan's not even real. That's not real, that's just made up. It's like, have you been there? And so you have to at least be open to exploring. You have to be open to receiving input about what you believe. And also too, other people, like, they're not always right either, but people can say stuff that you still look at and you're like, huh, you know, maybe this is something to think about. And then you accept whether it's true or not, whatever they say. Or maybe you take some value from what they say. And, you know, something I say to a lot of people is every single person that you meet is a teacher in some way. They're either teaching you something new about yourself by directly giving it to you, or they're helping you awaken something that you haven't seen. So for example, if you're triggered by something, someone who's really stupid and annoys you, ask yourself, why am I annoyed? Like, what about this annoys me? Why does this bring an emotion to the surface? What is this emotion? Where have I felt this emotion in the past? What is the belief I have attached to this? And then you can challenge that. You can dissect it. You can get to the root of it, and you can figure out what the truth actually is. And then you also have mentors. You have people who come into your life They give you wisdom. They give you knowledge from their own experience. And, there's a high chance it's true, especially if they've lived it. If it's an experience, that's wisdom. And so you're really just stupid to say, oh yeah, that's great, and then you throw it to the side. Because wisdom is attained by throwing knowledge away and keeping the truth of the principles without the emotional charge. I want you to go back in the video and listen to that one again. That just came to me. But if you internalize it, it'll really change the way that you choose to learn in your life. And so one more thing I want to say in this video is, why is a society overall, are people so lost? Why are people so prideful? Why are our egos so big? And why does it seem like the truth is a threat to people instead of something that's expected as a standard? And that's a little weird. It's like the truth, the one thing that can heal us, the one thing that can free us, the truth will set you free. Everyone thinks it's going to kill them. But the thing it's actually going to kill is just your ego. It's going to kill the false you. And people don't want that. Most people don't want that. And that's why most people stay stupid, as smart as they think they are. But again, how did we get to that point? Well, I truly believe it's a lack of strong fatherhood. You see, men, it is our job to discipline, to guide, to set boundaries, to correct. We can separate from the emotions even more. We can get to a higher perspective, and we can see if something is actually true or false. We're called by God to be the leaders. And so if men are not stepping up, if they're not disciplining, if they're not correcting, if they're letting ideas that are dangerous float around and not setting a boundary around that, keeping it out, entertaining it, then it allows this thing of tolerance, which we see, which is like a cancer in our society today. Everyone wants to be so tolerant, but it's like, just because a snake can bite me, I'm not going to tolerate it doing that. Like a snake, it's in its nature to bite. I don't have to tolerate that. It can go bite somewhere else. I'm not going to tolerate that. It's the same with the beliefs around us, the people in our lives. But it first starts with you being connected to truth. You see, there's a lot of potential from this video where someone goes out and they become this tyrant and they try and correct everybody, but you yourself may not even be connected to the truth. The truth is found in a relationship with God, with knowing Christ, with reading the Bible. And listen, I can tell you from experience, I've gone down literally every single spiritual rabbit hole you can go down. I was born in a half Jewish, half Christian home, was not religious at all, didn't really take it seriously. My religion throughout my whole life growing up, going to college, was sports, it was football. And so when that came to an end, I didn't know who I was. My meaning ceased to exist. And so what was next? Well, I was kind of atheist for a bit. I was mad. And then I ended up going down just pure consciousness rabbit hole. Once I started to understand that, well, just energy, understanding my own energy, which energy is always going to be there, right? That's an underlying thing that you can't get rid of. And it's connected in every single spiritual pathway that you can conceive. But, I went down that path, and then Hermeticism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam for a little bit. That one did not get my attention at all. There's nothing about it that drew me in. And then ended up back. I went to Kabbalah too, shamanism, plant medicine. Like every single thing I'm telling you, I've gone down the rabbit hole way too deep. And they all led me back to a relationship with Christ, not the religion of Christianity, not the religion at all. A relationship with my Creator, with your Creator, whether you know Him or not yet. And, I can just tell you, going down that path, it's been a lot of hard lessons that I've learned. I've learned a lot about myself that was true, and I've learned a lot about myself that was false. And there's a lot more things that were false than were true. I've learned how much of a liar I've been in my life. And I know you're a liar too, and that's okay. You want to admit that so that you can become someone who's embodying the truth. But before I went out and I was able to tell people and share with people what the truth is, I first had to get rid of everything in myself that was holding me back from experiencing it too. Because I can't lead someone to a land of truth if I'm living in a land of lies. It's the blind leading the blind. That's biblical. And so, if you want to become the person that you're meant to be, if you want to step into God's design for you, your calling, your chosen identity that you're meant to embody, it first starts with a desire to be curious, to seek the truth, to allow yourself to be disciplined and corrected. Otherwise, you literally become an idiot. And no one wants to be an idiot. I know that sounds harsh. I'm not the one who said it. So you can get mad at me, but it was God. And so as you move forward from this video, which I want you to let me know too if you like these formats of, I think it's short, I don't know, I get in the flow and I don't know what time it is. I'm going to try and just keep it short to the point, actionable as much as I can. But it's just going to be what it is so that it's natural. I'd rather have an authentic connection with you than something that's like forced and perfectly scripted all the time. But that's just me. We'll see. And yeah, as you move forward from this video, ask yourself, what am I holding on to and accidentally making it my God over the truth that may be presented to me? That's right in front of my face. What belief are you making into reality and it annoys you when people challenge it? What does that feeling tell you about yourself? And that takes humility. That takes humility because it's encountering the feelings in yourself that may feel like there's something wrong with you, that may feel like you're a bad person. But it's not you. It's the idea about you. It's easy for us to cling on to an idea about us because it makes us feel safe. And being unsafe in our own identity is actually the ultimate safety, because then we can gain the identity that was truly meant for us. That's all I got for you in this video. Peace.